My first trades were in SPY, and like I said, I'm a beginner at this. I just got Tastyworks, so I don't know how to find that old closed trade at the moment. But basically, what it was a vertical credit put spread based on um, Moz spreads technique. I'm gonna link to that video and that tutorial down below. But basically what he does is he does a credit spread with just like 1 week left to expiration. And I ended up making $9, I believe, on that trade. Not a whole lot, but the whole purpose of that trade for me was get to learn how to use this interface and actually place a trade and test out some of the things that I've been learning about um, calls and puts and vertical spreads and those kinds of things. For that trade, it was really cool to make money while learning how the platform works and literally what buttons to press in order to send a trade. I have another SPY vertical put spread that's still running, and it's this one right here. In this one, I tried to follow the Tasty Trade recommendations of at least 45 days out and the delta of what they recommended. So that's this trade here. And then another thing that they recommend is to exit the trade once it's received 50% of the profit, because through their studies they found that if you hang on longer, you're actually putting yourself more at risk, where you probably won't achieve more profit and you'll end up losing. So they make it super easy. If you just click on the active trade, then you can just right click and then just choose this button right here, and it'll create the working order that's good till canceled right here. So that's what this working order is here. Regarding Tasty Trade, I've been watching a show that they've just started called The Two Utes, where Tom Sosnoff, the founder of Tastyworks, he teaches two beginners how to trade options and futures. So for my next trade, what I did was I just followed along to exactly one of the trades that they picked. And one of them was uh, they picked DM. So it's this trade here. And as you can see, it's not doing well. Profit and loss for the day is $38, negative $38 loss. But again, like I'm, for me, this is an education, and I was just following along. So my thought with this was do exactly what they did, and then I'll follow the show. And then when Tom makes adjustments to it, I'll follow along too. That way, I can kind of follow exactly like the whole rationale behind the trade. Then after that, I was trying to figure out like, okay, what else do I do? So I another trade that I placed, I started listening to Tony Batista's mini podcast called Options Trades Today. And Tony Batista is one of the co-founders of Tasty Works and Tasty Trades. So he, in that podcast, he gave a few trades. So the first one that I put together was this one. This is a calendar spread on IWM, and again, I just kind of followed exactly what he said. This one's doing okay, so I'm kind of glad that it's up $14. Um, the market today has been kind of pretty bad, but we'll see how this goes. Again, I'm just practicing, and I wasn't sure exactly how calendar spreads work. Like I said, complete beginner here. I'm just following along and trying to learn what they're doing. And like, some of you might think like, oh, that's crazy or whatever. But, one of the things that Tasty Trade says is that you need to put real money into the game so that you can really learn and follow along. So that's what I'm doing. And this is just a play account for me. And I wanted to just learn. So let's keep going. Another trade that Tony recommended was a trade on Baidu. So what this one is, this is an iron condor. And again, this is another concept that I have a very beginner understanding of what it is, but I am still learning the intricacies. Like I understand like when you're when you think a underlying stock is going to trade within just a range and not go too low or too high, then you put one of these iron condors in and it will be profitable if it stays within that range. Well, unfortunately, currently it's $79 at a loss. So there are 52 days remaining on this, but so we'll see what happens. And then I'm hoping, um, this will force me to learn like how to roll this trade or protect it or defend it or however I need to make this better. But there's still a lot of time. And with the Tasty Trade style, they recommend that at 21 days, they make their decisions on what they're going to do from there. Now, over this past weekend, I binged a lot of this YouTube channel by Mikey Millions called Kamikaze Cash. In it, he talks about theta farming, which is basically using the wheel strategy, which is a combination of covered puts and covered calls, as I understand it. And he uses it as a way to generate weekly cash flow in a small, quote, small $3,000 account. I'm very fascinated by the idea of creating weekly cash flow with a smaller account. So this morning, I placed a few more trades. So that's what these trades are. I did American Airlines, AAL, and in it I did a vertical put spread. And hey, this one's profitable right now. It's $5. It's gonna end this Friday, so there's 4 days remaining. So we'll see how that turns out. And then I did it again with Apple. Vertical put spread. I am losing on this trade $45. So I'm hopeful Apple recovers. Maybe it'll come back tomorrow and the rest of the week. That'd be great. And then the last one that I did this morning was PLTR. Also, vertical put spread down $8. Again, I'm hopeful that we can recover. Those last three trades, American Airlines, Apple, and Palantir, are all closing on or expiring on Friday. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah, it's all a learning experience. Overall, my goal right now is to learn. I've checked out a lot of the various strategies and have a tiny little bit of an understanding. I must have binged hours and hours of YouTube over the past couple of weeks. Um, and now my plan for now is to learn and master vertical spreads. There seems to be a lot of people out there with success with that strategy, and I understand that type of trade fairly well, at least like from a beginner standpoint. And my goal again is to master one thing, get really good at it, and then go from there. This is just the beginning of my journey, and as you can see, I'm still figuring this all out. But I wanted to keep track of it, and I wanted to share what I'm learning along the way so that if someone's just figuring this out or seeing it for the first time, maybe something that I'm learning along the way can help them. I am in no way an expert. This is not any kind of financial advice whatsoever. Maybe it might be entertaining to see me, lose some money, make some money, but hopefully we all learn along the way. So come join me on this journey. Like, comment, and subscribe. It helps, motivate me. Then it holds me accountable, as well as maybe we can turn this into a community where we're learning together. And then by commenting and liking and subscribing, you'll see my videos more. And then we can, maybe make some money and get rich, get richer. All right, with that, I'll talk to you later.